Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wrong Ones podcast. We have Punk, and then we have a special guest from Water Player podcast.
Yeah.
Suman's here, the big SRH fan. So maybe probably a perfect game to cover between Punjab and SRH. Before we get into the details of the game, what is happening in IPL cricket? 245, 20 overs, and for a team to be able to chase. I just couldn't get my head around. Suman, I'll start with you. Obviously, given SRH was a part of the game.
Yeah, it was firstly great to be here. It was a superb game of cricket. I never thought after that Stoinis donking that SRH will be back in the game. Forget about winning it. I think those last four balls of Shami probably
Mm-hmm.
deflated everybody. But I keep going back to what Rabada kept saying in the first week of cricket IPL, right? And Punk, I had asked you as well. I, it's unfair on bowlers. I mean, that's ridiculous. 245 chasing down it with nine balls to spare is unheard of in 20 overs. So for me, I think it's great for entertainment. But yeah, bigger question is like, are these pitches good for the bowlers? Bowlers will be decimated. Like Shami, I mean, we need him for our white ball cricket
India.
and red ball cricket. So this
Yeah.
kind of another two games like this, the guy will think he's good for nothing. So for me, it's great entertainment. People who have just been watching T20 games, they'll enjoy a lot. But for red ball cricket, I don't know about this kind of pitches.
No, absolutely right. And you mentioned about Shami, like one of the best when it comes to new ball bowling, especially doesn't matter white ball or red ball. And for him to concede like 75 runs of just 4 overs. I know obviously it's still not the record with what Jafra Archer's considered, like probably earlier in the IPL. But yeah, that's a good point you made, right? Rabada made that comment statement saying like it's more like a batsman's game, and if this continues, I mean, no one wants to be a bowler going forward. Like maybe a spinner
Yeah.
in consideration, but you don't want to be a fast bowler if you get tonked left, right, and center.
Yeah, one
Punk,
point I'll make before you
sure.
turn it over.
Hmm.
Um, Not taking anything away from the PBK's batters,
Of course,
Shami
yes.
was Shami was horrendous. I mean, if you look back on the bowling he's done, he
Hmm.
was feeding in full tosses and half volleys.
Yes.
So yes, pitch was bad, but
Hmm.
Shami's bowling was not great. But having said that, I mean, every ball Abhishek Sharma was touching was four. It's
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah. Punk, your thoughts?
Okay. Let's start with Shami as well, right? So I did tell you, in our podcast review in terms of SRH, the bowling. I did say Shami is not your death bowler, right? So he shouldn't be bowling at that, right? And like if you see his stats, and he hasn't done great while that bowling. It's always the off front bowling when the seam is upright, and when there's seam in the ball, he's able to take those wickets. And like, see, the thing is that last over which Sami got hit, right? And I agree with Suman, right? It was like pathetic, in terms of the bowling. He was just feeding him like full tosses, half volley. So, taking that aside, it is good for Shami as well that going forward, he has to understand that you have to create the slow ones. You have to have change of variations. Bowling wrong ones. See Mohit Sharma, right? Uh, and I don't want to compare, but like Harshal Patel, for example, right? And
Mhm.
I did tell you Harshal Patel will go for runs, will take wickets in my reviews, if you remember, right? And
Yes.
Harsha
Yeah.
Patel is a guy who should bowl in the death overs
Hmm.
because he will get those wickets. He might go get it tonked, but he'll get those wickets. You know,
Hmm.
because he has good, variation. Six different balls. You can bowl six different balls. Right? So that he's your guy actually for because they are like death bowler specialists. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to take that away, right? The reason why I believed while rest nobody believed that they will chase this was because the game previous to this,
Hmm.
with the KKR game, right? I was looking that very closely. It was 235, which NSG scored, right? 235, 237,
Hmm.
right? And the way KKR chased it, right? They lost by 4 runs. They should have
Yes.
easily won that, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why when this game started, I like 245 knew this was a flat track, like literally it was a belter. I
Hmm.
mean, the batting lineup with SRH is right. It's like box office fires, they have, right? I knew that one guy gets stuck in and then we are done. And
Yeah.
you see, before the game started, I just told that they did 90 odd runs with a
Hmm.
loss of one wicket. I was lucky that we didn't lose wickets for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. And I was just like, and the way Klassen came in, and this is where you have to be hands on, right? If you want to kill the game, you get those power hitters completely, and just finish it,
Hmm.
rather than somebody to come and play those 1, 2 runs, 3 runs, because the run rate is so high
Hmm.
that at that point of time, if Abhishek would have like when he went out, yeah,
Hmm.
had to went way before him. When
Yeah.
Abhishek went out, there was still chance for them to come back in the game.
Yeah.
You see?
It's still 13, 14 needed when he got
Yes.
out. So, yeah. Mm.
And this is where Cummins, how great he is. Like, this is why sometimes you have to have that sense of not sending somebody else and sending Klassen to actually go and, because you need those power
Close it.
hitters continuously hitting it.
Yeah.
You can't just you can't relax when there's 245.
Hmm.
And this track was made for the SRH team to
Yeah.
show them what power hitting they have.
Yeah.
And, my belief has been fulfilled on the team. While everybody who were core hardcore fans, they might have like lost track of it, but I was like, oh, hands on, they're going to win this one. So it's just
Uh,
because they. I'll tell you one thing. Just to add that, just 10 seconds. When they would have seen what KKR had done, you see, sometimes what happens is you might see that KKR lost that game. I saw that KKR actually won that game. They
yeah.
lost by 4 runs. It was very unlucky. But what happens when you can see the other team and when you know that your batting is much more stronger than them,
Hmm.
that sense of belief comes in as well. That
Yeah.
if that other team can do it, and this is why from my side, I told you like, and in my WhatsApp message, I told that KKR had reached very close to that score. I
Yeah.
think so. SRH will get them,
Yeah.
and
But I'm just wondering,
so,
like, a couple of things went in Punjab's favor, right? One, obviously, that Yash was no ball, right? That was caught, and obviously, it didn't really work out for them. And the second thing, losing someone like Lockie Ferguson so earlier in the game. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Hyderabad, but that sort of restricted Shreyas Iyer and the Punjab team as well. Like, Lockie Ferguson, who can ball at like 145, 150. If you lose him like in the first over, that'll always put more pressure on the bowling side, right? Do you agree?
it does, but like Lockie Ferguson has like it's not necessarily like he's a great T20 bowler on flat decks. You see, the ball was even your slower ones were coming up right on your bat. It was not like
Mhm.
there was no grip at all. So
Yeah.
even if you're doing slower ones, right, you just had to wait for the ball and just smack it.
Hmm.
So that pitch was not going to help anyone. Apart from like some mystery spinners, they
Hmm.
could do something, but even if slow ones were not like gripping and like there was no grip for slow ones as well, right?
Yeah.
uh, so
There's one
is the
there's
only
one
chance was
bowler.
like yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
There's one bowler who did really well though, Harshal Patel,
But
for
yeah,
4 overs
the
for
first innings.
40 with
Mhm.
4 wickets. I think he had that variation which Punk is referencing.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never a predictable bowler. He doesn't bowl like just straight medium paces. He has off cutters, he has leg cutters, slow deliveries. He
Hmm.
bowls wide of batters. I
Hmm.
think bowlers like him are crucial in wickets like these. Otherwise,
Hmm.
people like Shami who just come in and straight look for swing
Yeah.
will get tonked.
Punk, yeah.
Quick word on Abhishek Sharma, 141 of 55 deliveries. I mean, what a knock. Obviously, that one off, chance that he had, but he still made it count. Sman.
Yeah, he's super skilled. He's definitely got the game needed for international cricket. We have seen that versus England as well in that Wankhede T20. So it's just a matter of getting the start. I think he's always been struggling in the first 10 runs, right? If he gets past that first 10 to 15 runs, he then becomes unstoppable. What will be interesting is to see how he'll play outside of India because all his knocks have been either IPL or home tournament or in Sri Lanka. But places like South Africa, places like Sri Lanka, places like Australia, England is where it'll be interesting. But for him, he's got 2026 India T20 World Cup coming up. So he's in a super position to capitalize. Hopefully, he gets a couple more innings. like these in IPL, and he plays a couple of T20 games for rest of year, he's a guarantee sure shot. But incredible talent. I mean, some of his hitting and the timing, the clean hitting, amazing, amazing batter.
Yeah. Punk, anything you would like to add?
So, like, if he can win one World Cup, that's, more than for his entire lifetime. So, I'm looking at 2026 World Cup. It's horses or courses, right? And that's what the Indian team should focus on, right? Look at those guys who can smack spinners and
Hmm.
slow bowlers and all that, right? You need those guys up front, like who can like smack those fast bowlers, and then the challenge is always like India struggles with the spin hitting, right? If
Hmm.
you can get, and Abhishek Sharma is one player, right, who can actually smack spinners as good as he can smack fast bowlers, right? The only challenge, and I agree with someone, right, is like the first 5, 10 balls, right? Especially when the ball is swinging a bit,
Hmm.
right? Flat decks is fine, right? But when especially the ball is swinging a bit, or if there's some grip or something, right? Just
Hmm.
just buy your time out. Play it like 3, 4 balls and understand the bounce of the pitch, whether the ball is seaming or swinging. Just if you can counter that, and just play those 4, 5 balls, right?
Hmm.
Just and then after that, he has that bat swing. He's got that temperament, right? And
Yeah.
one thing good about Abhishek Sharma, right, which a lot of people, he continuously hits.
Yeah.
There's
So it does.
nothing as like I hit a six and the next ball, which is good, because of the impact rule and the lineup which SRH has, right? You can continuously do that. You see, and that is the mindset you need at least from one of your players,
Yeah.
to continuously do it. You don't need all your players. And SRH, what has happened is like they think everybody's in Abhishek Sharma, everybody's in head, which
Hmm.
is why they have struggled. And I told you, right? They Not everybody has the same skill set as Abhishek with the swing and the
Hmm.
boundaries being inside. So you have to understand what is your ability, right? And and like naturally, I'm not going to like take this discourse, but I'll talk about baseball here,
Hmm.
right? The England baseball, right? Why you see they might have won few games here and there, right?
Hmm.
But if you see, they've lost a lot
Yeah.
because they think like baseball goes for each and everything. Came to India, they got smacked, yeah. So you cannot have the same format, different pitches, different conditions. You have to understand this. And
Yeah.
SRH with that batting lineup, they have spin hitters in between.
Hmm.
They've got guys who can actually power hitters who can like smack those. So it's a set role. You need to make sure that like you take a one and let Klassen come in between. He hits. This is where I said if they get together, they'll win the next 6, 7 games. They have everybody in the squad. To actually qualify. The next 6 games are there. I hope like they don't think that I'm an Abhishek Sharma and somebody comes and starts becoming Abhishek Sharma. Then we're going to lose. Yeah. But
Yeah.
if they understand Abhishek is Abhishek, my role is to make sure that if the power hitter is there, I just take that run and give the power hitter to hit him. Right? And then naturally you can then, hit as well. Right. So that is what they need to do. But they are bang on now, and this is what confidence it are given to the team, which
Hmm.
was, see what happens. Everybody was talking about SRH not getting let SRH let them, chase and they
Hmm.
will lose. Right now, SRH has shown that guys now be careful. You have to hit 270.
Yeah.
We are here to stay.
Because
Okay,
yeah.
this is going to be a pressure on the other team. So the guys who are thinking of like 250, 260, they will collapse at 180. You
Hmm.
see, and SRH just have to play well. They will easily get those 200 runs. Is nothing for them. But they're a little bit ahead on the play with some.
And also it was
Don't talk much. What is there?
good to see Head not play the way he usually does. Yesterday we've
Absolutely.
noticed he let Abhishek take the initiative, and he was just sort of playing like the support role, like taking the singles and let
Absolutely.
Abhishek like do his thing, which was very good. That's not something you sort of see from Travis side. Travis, it's
Yes.
very similar to Abhishek Sharma. He likes to like see ball, hit ball, sort of a batsman. But for him to take that back seat yesterday was very important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you see, and like, and same thing which I talked about Pant and this guy,
Aiden Markram, yeah.
Hayden Markham, right?
Hmm.
So Pant just took that 1 or 2 runs, and Markham was like, and that is what you need. You don't have to go both bang on from both sides.
Yeah.
In a chase, especially the guy who's in touch, give them, and then you get your form back as well, right? And it was one of the best chases I've seen, man. It's like,
Yeah.
let's even talk about it.
Yeah. So, Saman, anything you want to add on Travis head?
That was perfect partnership. I think
Yeah.
rotating the strike and letting other batter go when
Yeah.
he's in full swing is the first rule for the partnership.
Yeah.
I guess the extra motivation for both Head and Abhishek were also the last four matches they were not successful. They did not
Yeah.
contribute anything. So both of them had a point to prove.
Hmm.
And I think they are, from what I read on the stats, they have 400 run partnerships in IPL. The top ones are Virat and Gale, if I'm not wrong.
Quite
So
possible. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so they definitely have a knack of partnership coming through, and I'm also glad that SRH retained both of them, because that showed that
Yes.
at the top we do need a set precedence to go, and I
Hmm.
agree with Pant too that one of them have to take responsibility in SRH. I agree that everybody has a game to go after 300, but not everybody will click in the same game. So I think
Yeah.
the key there will be who will take responsibility in each of the game to take them through. Another reason why that calculated aggression is important is because SRH bowling is not great. If you look at the 5 games they have played, they have
Hmm.
conceded over 200 runs, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Almost every game. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's unsustainable in a tournament like this where other
Hmm.
teams, PBKs, the Mumbai Indians are coming back into form,
Yeah.
Delhi Capitals. So it's important that control aggression is there,
Hmm.
keeping in mind that they have a pressure of going after 300 in a T20 game. Probably is also playing on their mind, which should not ideally. But
Yeah.
look, qualifying is far fetched for me
Hmm.
now this season, but I think we will definitely make some upsets for the team, and we're also dependent on other, like RCB is a strong contender this season. So,
Yeah.
so if I see, I think top four: GT, RCB, DC, and LSG. Those four teams definitely have it in them to go
Sure.
all the way through, unless
Mm.
like today DC got complacent, then they learned a hard lesson,
Yeah.
right? I feel it's pure complacency how DC left, but
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
that's what I feel about Sunrisers batting.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget about PBK and most importantly Shreyas Iyer, right? As a skipper and walking in at number three, he's done wonders for PBK so far. Another 80 odd yesterday that actually set the tone and allowed them to go score that big run. So maybe in a quick word on Shreyas Iyer and his captaincy, Punk.
So, like, he after this, and like, okay, this is just a stats back, right? So, if you
Hmm.
see last year when he was the captain of KKR, they brought down 261 against him, so his team, right?
Right.
I think Punjab, somebody chased, right? It was Punjab who chased 261 against Shire. He was the KKR
Possible.
captain last
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but
So,
yeah. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. So, you have those odd days, right?
Yes.
It's just that, like, and he himself told, like, his bowling changes were not great
Hmm.
because they were getting smacked so badly, right? You sometimes lose, like, what's happening. You
Hmm.
look around and see who's your bowler.
Yeah.
And again, Punjab, it's Arshdeep, and I remember when, like, the match started, I told, if we can, like, just manipulate Arshdeep, we'll win this.
Hmm.
And he still got to that wicket, but it was too late. By the
Yeah.
time, like, the score was like, we were already going at 13, 14 runs per over, and
Hmm.
he came back to the 14th over. Right? He could have tried to get Arshdeep one over somewhere around the ninth over,
Hmm.
but maybe the thing is with 245 runs, right? As a captain, you think I have so much runs in the bank that let me keep Ashdeep for the last 2, 3 overs,
Hmm.
because you would still need, like, say, 12 to 13 runs per over in the last, like, say, 40, 50 runs in the
Yeah.
last 3 overs, right? So that's what a captain thinks about, right?
Hmm.
And Chahal has not been great for them this season, right?
Yeah.
If Chahal was like the old Chahal, right?
Hmm.
It would have been slightly difficult for SRH
Yeah.
because there are only one or two guys who are really good spin hitters, right? Klassen and Abhishek
Mm.
Sharma, as I told you, right? The rest, they can tonk here and there, but they cannot, like, continuously tonk him for like, 2 6s, 3 6s in an over.
Hmm.
So that is one with, and you see the rest of the bowlers are like, they're there, but you won't call Stonis a bowler, like, you understand, right? I wouldn't call him like a bowler who can, help you out in those tricky situations, right? So he'll get tonked, right? Who else there? Okay, Maxwell. When there's like slightly, when there's spin in the wicket, then you might, right? But he just bowls like fast, and that's it. You just need to come, smack him, right? He'll go for sixes, and that's what they did, right? So who else they have? Like, I'm just thinking about, I'm losing the who are the bowlers they have? Like, they can he could have gone to apart from Arshdeep, So that's the only challenge they have uh, in that team. Let me have a look at Punjab bowlers, right? It's quite interesting to see in the squad.
Yeah, Chahal not coming through is a big gap for them because they have one quality spinner, and they're also not using Ranveer Brar, who's a lefty, who's an all-rounder. But I think it's their combination at the end of the day. They have Yash Thakur coming in as an impact player, but again, Yash Thakur is inexperienced, and we have seen if the pitch is flat how things go. But look, I think Punjab's similar to Sunrisers Hyderabad. They are banking on their power bank batting.
Yeah.
They feel that if they put the score from a bowling point of view. But who else are the bowlers, Punk?
They don't know. They have Jansen right now. Jansen, like, again on a flat deck, right? They'll smack him because he does not have the slower ones. He does not have the variations which is needed in
Yeah.
those pitches, right? So, and Loki Ferguson again, like, he gets smacks a lot as well, right? It's just that some of the balls which comes really fast, but the bouncers are restricted to two bouncers, right? And
Yeah.
even for that, now people have, they know how to scoop. You see, so it's a challenge. Like, 1 second, like,
Do you think
so
PBKs have it in them to make it to the top four
qualify.
this year?
They have, like, because see, not all matches will be played on the same track like what we have in SRH, right? And not all teams have the same batting, attacking lineup as what SRH has. So more often these guys will score 220, 230. Yeah, with the batting mindset they have, right? 200, 230 is like, so with Arshdeep there, there's a lot of chances that they will, and like, you know, the and Marco Jensen maybe, up front if he can get few wickets, right? They still have. I think the Lockie Ferguson is mostly gone now. He won't be coming in, so they'll have to see another bowler, right? Who can actually bowl. Phew, they don't have a good bowling, backup as well. That is another challenge they have.
Mm.
Because if I don't think Ferguson mostly is out now because that was a hamstring. So I don't think he's going
Yeah.
to come back for the next 3 4 games, or maybe he's out of the tournament completely.
Yeah.
They don't have a bowler actually. I don't know, Xavier Bartlett. I don't know who is he. He's just
Yeah.
26 years from South Australia. Uh, I have no idea of him. Who else they have? Like
They have to get that Indian all-rounder Ranveer Brar, the lefty, who can bat
Harpreet
and
Brar,
bowl.
yeah. But yeah,
Harpreet
that is a
Brar.
spin. Yeah, so that is the spin. So yeah, but then who they would drop for? Because if you drop him, you need a fast bowling. They don't have a fast bowler at all.
But they
They
can
they
make an
tried with
impact.
Shashank Shrink. Yeah, but like so in the fast bowling department they have Arshdeep, Locke is out, Marco Jansen. You see, these are your fast
Sagi, you're
bowlers,
on mute.
and Stonis.
Sagi speaking on mute.
Sorry, yeah, my bad. I was just saying they also have Kuldeep Sen and Vijay Kumar Vaishak, right? Those two fast bowlers. Kuldeep Sen played for RR last season. He's a decent fast bowler. They can bring him in to replace Rocky.
Vaishak is great.
And,
He won us a game.
Yeah, in fact, he won them a game, right? Where he came as an impact and he bowled some good spells.
and like I was surprised why they got Yash Thakur then. in
Yeah.
that impact is bit if Vice, yeah, I was thinking he was a guy, right, who came at least 14th over, right? Remember against
Vaishak,
which
yeah.
team was against which team
Was it
was that?
RCB or I can't remember now. Maybe RCB, yeah.
Where he
It's
was giving the
us.
white Yorkers, and then he won them the game. I'm like, yeah, but if that's the guy, then instead of they can get him in. They'll have to see if the other guy Chahal, right? If he sees like I would rather get in Harpreet rather than instead of Chahal.
Yeah.
If Chahal is not like getting those wickets and if it's still struggling, then
Mhm.
I would definitely get Harpreet Bra in the playing 11
Mhm.
and put Chahal in your in your impact sub
Absolutely.
and Isaac too instead of Loki Ferguson, right? That would be my team combination.
Cool. Obviously, for all the cricket fans and SRH fans, it was a massive win. That sort of also opens up the table, and it gives opportunity. Like someone pointed out, right? There might be some upsets coming up, so it all depends on like who sort of continues to like deliver in terms of the form. But yeah, I think it's going to be an outside
You
chance
know,
for SRH.
yeah, just to add to that, and this is it's history like stats, right? Last year,
Hmm.
KK won 6 out of the 7 games. Sorry, RCB won 6 out of the 7 games, right? And they
Yeah,
qualified.
they
So it's
did.
not
Yeah.
that like SRH does not have, SRH is like 8 games. They need to, out of the 8 games, if they get another how many 6 games, they qualify. You
Don't
know,
give
Yeah.
any hopes, Punk. It's hard enough.
so no, I'm
The
quite
only, the
positive
only
about
catch
SRH.
is all of a sudden now, as much as SRH has that opportunity, the flip side is they're dependent on other teams not doing well as well. Like the
Yeah,
point which
yeah.
Suman made earlier, right? All of a sudden, MI looks strong. They've lost 2 close games previously, and today's game they won. So that gives them confidence to obviously go back and do well. So yeah, let's see how
But
things.
the table can go up and down, right?
Mhm.
Nothing has lost.
Yeah, and
I
someone on the
guess
top
the
four can
only
drop.
team we can say that CSK is not going to qualify this year because that's like completely gone. The
Yeah,
main guy batsman on the CSK we can rest. They
right
still
off.
have a chance.
Okay.
And maybe RR. I don't see RR as well because I don't see that confidence in RR
Yeah.
completely.
Hmm.
So Rajasthan Royals and CSK, I think so. They are not going to qualify
Okay.
this year.
Everybody else still
Definitely.
has chance. You mean?
Yeah, because like I said, it's not that the batting is not clicking and all that, right?
Yeah.
The batsmen are in form, like it's just that they need that little bit of what someone talked about, little bit head on your shoulders, right? And then just play, look at the condition and understand what your role is, and don't become a Abhishek and head. Everybody is not that,
Hmm.
and you will win more games. You'll win more games,
Sure.
So that's the thing, right? So.
Anything you want to add, Suman, as we close out?
No, that's it. I mean, just keep upsetting other teams. Don't worry about the playoff scenario. It's
Yeah.
far-fetched, but if it happens, you're happy. Otherwise, just win as many games as possible. That should be the mantra for SRH
That's
rest of the
right.
season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And PBK standpoint, obviously, it's a one-off loss, but they'll hopefully learn from this and sort of come back stronger for the next
They've
game.
got two back-to-back game. The problem is the next 2 games is going to decide where SRH is, and
Hmm.
basing on Suman's right, MI's 2 game back-to-game in 17th and the 23rd is where we decide. If they win those 2 games, then more or less they will win the CSK,
Hmm.
right? With this pathetic form the entire team is. So that's 3. So and then we're there roundabout. Win the
Yep.
next 3 games, then the odds are in your favor, right? Then,
Now you've raised the hopes up for Saman, so if that happens, obviously, now do expect a donut or
see, for me, it's the second team
something
which
coming in.
it's the
That's
second
a
team which I'm
secret.
looking forward to, winning.
Pang, you
Apart from
can't just pick
CSK.
5 or 6
So,
teams as your favorites and say this is my second favorite, my third favorite.
so no, well, CSK is always my favorite, right? Everybody knows that, right? But then
Yes.
I
I
was
thought your
cheering
second
for
favorite is
SRH.
LSG because of Pant.
Pant is there, but that Goenka thing is like getting to my head.
You have to live with that, unfortunately, at
Yeah.
least for the next three
It's
years.
just like like you see like Laddu one side and you like it's like Sadhu ka Laddu. You want Pant to do well, and then you see that Goenka guy lifting the trophy. So I just like it's so irritating. I don't know whom to balance out.
Now that you mentioned about Goenka, I've noticed somewhere on the socials, apparently his volleyball team or kabaddi team, whoever that is.
Gujarati guy, yes. I
Apparently
saw
they
some.
won a
Yeah.
trophy. Yeah, they won a
And he was
trophy.
there. He
So
was
he's
there at the
happy.
trophy.
He's happy. No wonder that's why
Yeah.
he's not there at yesterday's game. But yeah,
Yeah. But
on that note,
yeah, for
let's wrap
fun,
up.
you want
Mhm.
that thing now, some but
No,
yeah.
absolutely, he deserves whichever
Yeah.
team does well owners are owners. Obviously they put a lot of
Yes.
money in, so they always have like to have a say in it. So we can't control.
Yeah.
Yes, but on that note, thank you, Pang. Thank you so much for your insights. Hope you guys enjoyed the session, and yeah, we look forward to more and more games as the season unfolds, and let's see where things end up by next weekend, and then we can revisit things.
Excellent. Keep up the good job. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yes.
Bye.
Pang, you want to do the honors on behalf of Amar?
Yeah. Hit the bell icon.
Hit the bell icon and do subscribe, share your feedback as we always
Yes.
request. And yeah, we'll try and cover more games and bring more closer insights into the rest of the season. And Punk will keep tracks on what's happening with CSK very closely.
Yep.
Thank you, Punk.
Yeah, I
Have a good
might have
night.
some update in soon for CSK as well.
Sure. I appreciate that. Cheers.